This is the new LEGO Speed Champions Camaro set, and today we're going to build it, destroy it, redesign it, and rebuild it in a scale that's a little bit more city and minifig friendly. Welcome to the I Bricked It Up YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, I'm glad you're here, and if you've been here before, I'm glad you're back. So I got a special video for you here today. I'm going to shrink the new Speed Champions Camaro set down from 8 studs wide to the classic 6 stud wide scale. And I'm going to take you through the whole process of doing that, including building the official set, designing the smaller version in studio, making instructions for it, gathering the extra parts we need, putting the new one together, and most controversial of all, cutting the sticker sheet. And make sure you stick around to the end because I'm going to tell you how to get the PDF instructions and parts list for free. I've actually done the 8 stud to 6 stud conversion for most of the Speed Champion sets. There's only a couple that I haven't done it with. And by the end of this video, some of you are going to love it and want to use it for your own city, and others will think I'm an absolute villain. Either way, stick around and see how it turns out. So the first thing we need to do is build the set. And if you haven't noticed already, no, I don't build that fast. I am to speed up the video. I have about 4 hours of footage. I don't think anybody's trying to watch a Stanley Kubrick movie right now on YouTube. If anything comes up that's important, I will slow down the video. And as a quick review of the set, it's really good. It's got lots of creative techniques. There's some cool parts. The colors are great, dark purple, turquoise, and the bright light orange. It's a really good combo, and it's great to get parts in these colors, so it's an awesome set. My favorite piece is probably the 3x3 round tile with the printed flag on it. It's a great piece. I'm only shrinking it down because I prefer the 6 stud scale, but if you like the 8 stud scale, if you like these larger vehicles, that's awesome. More power to you. It's a great set. But one of my favorite things about LEGO is if it's something you don't like or something you want to change or customize for yourself, you can do it. You can take it apart, put it back together however you want. Speaking of taking things apart and putting them back together, when I was young, what I liked to do was combine sets. Take pieces from one and put them on another. Take a Star Wars ship and put it underwater with the Aquanauts theme. Mix the pirates and the castle themes together. There's a guy on Instagram who takes the Speed Champion sets and then makes them into cool mechs. What do you like to do with the sets? Do you keep them together or do you make your own designs? Let me know down in the comments. Like I said before, this set is great. I'm just pointing out some of my favorite details like the front grille and the spoiler on the back. The only problem with the set, and it's not really a problem with the set, it's just a preference for me, is that I like to build in the 6 stud wide scale. So this doesn't really match the old Camaro Speed Champion set that I have, or all these other Camaros that I've already built, including some Bumblebee Camaros that I'll make tutorial videos for in the future. But now that we've got it all put together, we're going to get to my favorite part of the process, designing it. The first thing you want to do, if you don't already have it already, is get on bricklink.com and download stud.io. It's a digital program that allows you to create LEGO designs on your computer using any brick, and as many as you want. You can make your own designs, or you can even make official sets. So if you ever wanted to build that UCS Millennium Falcon, but couldn't bring yourself to drop $800 on it, you can build it on your computer. You can even build older sets too. Lego.com has instructions for all of their sets on the website. And now that we're in studio, I'm going to show you how I design in here. Now it's going to look like a little bit of a mess. I'll usually keep all of the pieces that I've tried using. I'll move them off to the side until I definitely know I'm not going to use them, then I'll delete them. I didn't record the beginning of it. I got pretty far. What I like to do whenever I'm shrinking down these original sets is building the official set first, and then if I have something else that I can use as a kind of reference, like in this case the old 6 stud wide Speed Champion set, I use that as a reference as well. I'll kind of put them both in there and then start building. Another thing that I like to do is use some of the maybe techniques from the set that I'm shrinking down and see if they'll translate into 6 studs wide. Sometimes they don't because of the scale, so you might have to do some modifications. One thing I definitely like to do is to use as many parts as I can from the original set. That way I don't have to purchase extra pieces or anything. That way I can use as much as I can from the original set. And then the great thing about LEGO again is even if you don't use those pieces that are left over on this, you can use it on something else. I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead to the instructions. I might actually consider doing a live stream on maybe Twitch or something of designing things in studio. It's a lot of fun. I think it'd be good to hang out. Let me know if that's something y'all would be interested in. Now that we're making the instructions, the first thing I do is I separate the wheels. I go ahead and put those last. I know that's where they're going to go. I also separate the submodels into another step, because what I typically do is go ahead and make the submodel instructions first, and then I'll go back and do all the loose pieces and fit the submodels into where they need to go. Another thing I would do when you're in here is save often. Back out and save a lot. It's a pretty stable program, but I have had it crash on me, and it always happens when I didn't save as often as I should, so I do go back and save quite a bit. I'm not going to show this in real time. It would probably take about 40 minutes if I were to do that, so I'm going to make this a little bit faster as well. Just to give you a couple pointers, work in small batches and submodels are your best friend. Usually I try not to do more than maybe 10 to 15 pieces tops per step. Even that's pushing it a little bit. Another thing that I'd recommend using is the convert to callout feature. Use that on submodels that you don't want each step to be on its own page. It'll put it in a little box on the side of the main page, right? So if I were to have each step of each submodel be its own thing, the instructions would be well over 100 pages long. And for a 6-stud wide car, that's crazy. I want them to probably be between 30 and 50 at the highest. And you'll see as we go along that as I consolidate the steps and move things around, I get it from about 110 pages to under 40. The whole point of making the instructions is so you can make it with real bricks, whether that's going to be you or you're going to make the instructions so other people can see it. So make sure that it makes sense as you build. You'll probably have to go back and change a couple things, and that's fine, just as long as it goes together and it makes sense for somebody to actually make it. Now that we're done wrapping up the order that the bricks are going to go into, we're going to turn that into a PDF that people can actually follow along and build what you designed. When you're making the PDF, make sure that the angle that the model is actually viewable so you can actually see where the bricks go. And again, you'll probably end up going back to your model to rearrange a couple things here and there, but that's okay. And I'm going to skip ahead again here, and later in the video I'll tell you where you can actually go to download the PDF instructions for this model. After you've finished making the instructions, make sure that you export them and then get the parts list so you can build it. I typically put the parts list on Bricklink and then gather the pieces I need, but there's a couple other options you can do on here, like export them directly to an Excel spreadsheet. I just like the way the wish list works on Bricklink, so that's what I use. Alright, now that we've designed our model and we know what pieces we need, I'm going to take apart the official set, and I'm going to put the pieces that are going to be used on the new version over to the side. And I'm going to sort the parts that I'm not going to use. I use the Acro Mills drawers on Amazon. They're really awesome. Let me know what sort of storage you use. Do you use just a box with a bunch of Legos in it? Or do you have little drawers or little boxes that you use for it? The old Pick-a-Brick cups are really great too for parts. I wish they still used them. And now that we've finished taking apart the old model, getting the pieces that we need, and grabbing the extra pieces that we need from our bins, this is what we've got. On the left is the pile of bricks from the original set that we can use, and on the right is the pile of bricks that I needed to gather. Now there were a couple pieces that I didn't have in my inventory, probably about 5 or 6, it wasn't too many. I'll order the extra parts that I need off of Bricklink later. Overall though, not too bad, probably about half and half. Extra pieces on Bricklink probably end up being about $3 or $4. And now that we've got all the parts that we need, we can start building the set that we designed. I'm going to be quiet, sit back, relax, and listen to the music and watch the build for this part. I'll talk to y'all again in a couple minutes. And we're all done. Oh wait, the stickers. So I'm going to start with the stickers that I know will go on there that I don't need to do any adjustments for, but we will definitely need to cut some. I used a razor blade. Make sure that if you do this, you're not using razor blades unsafely, and if you're younger, make sure you have adult supervision. Or even better, ask if they can do it for you. The first ones I really needed to cut were the flames on the back. I followed the lines on the bricks in order to kind of follow the round corner, but they fit just fine. The next ones that needed a lot of modification were the ones on the side. The 2x6 sticker fit just fine on the tile, but there's a yellow flame sticker that really needs to go on there in order to transition from the purple to the yellow of the fender piece. In order to fit that flame next to the mudguard, I basically needed to remove one stud worth of space off of the 2x6 sticker. Fortunately, there was enough space on there. You just gotta cut it, stick it back on there, and then put the flame sticker next to it. It looks just fine. And obviously do that on both sides. The sticker on the roof just needed to be centered, and then I trimmed the edges of it, again following the lines of the Legos. The turquoise gradient stickers on the top fit just fine too. No sticker surgery needed there. The taillight stickers went on perfectly. I did need to cut the corners off of the Camaro sticker though in order to fit it. A lot of times when I'm putting stickers on, I need to realign them. I use the brick separator to do it. The flames on the hood of the car probably required the most modification. What I did was placed them where I thought they'd look best, which was kind of tough because they're made to go on a wider car. So I had to use some judgment in order to figure it out, but I think it looks really good. And then I used the razor blade in order to cut out the part that I didn't need. I did need to take it apart a little bit in order to do this, but it's easy enough to put back together. And with that, we're done with the stickers. Just putting the car back together, giving a quick look over, make sure everything's lined up. I think it looks good. What do you think? And here it is next to the old Speed Champion Camaro. They look good together. Now the old one has somebody to race against. So in order to get the free PDF instructions and parts list, all you need to do is go over to my Patreon page and register under the free tier. There are 4 tiers, but I'm going to make this one free. I don't want you to feel like you have to give me money or anything for it. While you were there, if you wanted to upgrade to a higher tier, I totally think it's worth it. There's tons and tons of instructions, but this one is going to be available for anyone that follows me over there. Thank you for watching the video, and a big thank you to my Patreon supporters, especially Stan, Zach, and Wes. I'll see you in the next one.